Through my time dealing with toxic individuals, narcissists, psychopaths, I found myself more or less detached from my old self. Like I found myself separate from what I used to be. I kind of transformed. And basically there were some telltale signs along the way that showed me that I've awakened to the fact of being chosen through narcissistic abuse. So I've got a little list here, and I'll share it with you lot, and maybe you'll feel some kind of, they might shed some light on your own situation. But number one, you discover the toxic individual, a narcissist, psychopath, sociopath in a relationship, friendship, or even family, and realize you were cut from a different cloth, and you realized you were an empath. You realized you had empathetic abilities. You realized you're separate from them. You kind of awoken to this new species. So that's like the trigger of our awakening. That's like the source of our awakening, when we start to separate from our old self or from our own viewpoints and stuff like that. But so that's number one. Number two is you now see toxic individuals in everyday life around you. It's like you see behind the veil of the facade that they masquerade through life with artificial light. You see through that now, and you kind of see them popping up all over the place. In everyday life, and maybe even with, like, you might have been in a relationship with someone and then it's triggered you to awakening that you're seeing it within your own family circle now. You're seeing it within your own friend circle, and you see behind the veil now. You see behind the narcissistic smirk. You see the telltale signs of these individuals, and it's truly awoken you to the fact. So we had number one, you discover the toxic individual. And then we've got number two, you now see toxic individuals in everyday life around you. So that's number two. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It will take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you very much. Number three is you're healing from past abuse, and you're coming to terms with the situation and no longer truly miss the toxic individual. So you no longer miss the narcissist or the psychopath or the sociopath. You're coming to terms with it, and you're basically on your healing journey. And you're covering ground. You know, you might have gone through a period of being stagnant. You might still be going through that period now, but still you're still coming, like you're collecting your thoughts together, and you feel like you're covering ground. You know, sometimes we need to go through an awful amount of healing to actually truly get back to ourselves, for who we were before we met these individuals, because that's basically the ultimate goal. It's becoming a new version, but we got certain traits of who we were before because we lost ourselves through being with these individuals. So yeah, number three is you're healing from your past abuse. Number four is you see the blessing in disguise. You see the blessing in disguise from countering a toxic individual, and you wouldn't have it another way. And you trust the Lord's decree or universe's plan, however you want to look at it. So you trust the plan of God or the universe, and you see these great benefits that you're getting now from being with from being separate from these individuals now, and you wouldn't have it no other way. So it's truly, your life's transformed, and I don't mean it's all sunshine and rainbows, but you've transformed spiritually, physically, and emotionally to the point of like peak advanced, and you're advancing. And I know it's painful, but you've literally got like alert signals now in your head where you can track down these individuals and you can see them sticking out like sore thumbs, man. But yeah, that's number four on the list. Number five on the list is it's important, and it might not be where you're at now, but eventually you'll get to that point, because it can take some years, you know. It can take years to truly heal. It took me some real groundwork to heal in my own story. But number five is you realize you're desired for something greater, and you're in search for your purpose, or you've already found your purpose. So you've discovered something now that's really put you on the road to recovery, and you're kind of using it as your outlet to deal with your pain and all of the lessons that you've been taught together and stuff like that, and you develop something in a craft, whatever it might be. It can be anything, you know, but you've truly awakened to the fact that you're destined for something greater, and you have a purpose ahead of you, which you realize that you wouldn't have had that purpose had it been for them, which yeah, if I go back over the signs, that kind of ties into the fourth point about the blessing in disguise point that I mentioned. But let me go back through them. So number one is you realize you discover the toxic individual, yeah, in your friend, family member, or relationship, yeah. Number two is you now see toxic individuals in everyday life around you. They're becoming more prominent and stuff like that. Number three is you're healing from past abuse and you're coming to terms with the situation and you no longer miss the individual. Number four is you see the blessing in disguise from encountering this individual, and you can see the benefits from it. And number five is you realize you're destined for something greater, and you're in search for your purpose. So I hope that helps. Not every sign is the same, but there's signs that I've noticed in my own journey. But feel free to comment some of your signs that you've noticed to help, you know, because all sharing is caring and helping each other out and stuff like that. But anyway, thanks for stopping by today. I'll be back later on, and I'll catch